Configuration out of the way. Now we have to. Very, very.
You're really done? Okay, come on.
I know. We don't want to be.
Okay, let's get started. So you don't need your computers first because I want to make sure you hear the message before we dive in, which is going to be in about a minute. So just to give you a big picture of what we want to accomplish today, as well as moving forward during our Friday PD. We heard in your feedback that people just want more time with just colleagues and with intellectuals to really talk about what's happening. And now that we are in this assessment cycle and I have all this data, like, what do I do? Like, I know my data was sad. And so I need to do something differently. And so I would like to talk to people about it because it was sad. Because how I did it didn't work. So this is in response to what you want, and we think this is really what's best. So this is not something that's just going to happen today, and next Friday it's going to continue kind of forever. So we want to, not forever, pretty good, until it stops, and then it'll stop. So with that being said, today we really want to make sure that we nail down the kind of like what this looks like and what the protocol looks like. So every week it's just, we're just rolling. And every minute that we have together is used well. So we're going to start by, Leah's going to walk through exactly how this tracker goes, and you're going to do as she shows you so that we're all doing this correctly. And then eventually we're going to do a little bit of individual reflection on what you brought today, partner reflection, and then start planning for next week, because that's what one of the reflections is. Okay.
So what you're gonna do when I say go, you're gonna open up the Flex Assessment Tracker, and you're gonna write in the objectives that you assessed this week. So I taught 3 objectives this week, but I only assessed 2, added regrouping and subtracted regrouping. So we go over to the right on the tracker underneath 1130, you'll just write the objectives that you assessed on your assessment. Okay, so go ahead and open your document.
And actually, if you kind of make those right here, then they actually show up in your arrow.
Yeah, actually, they'll show first objective.
So instead of saying objective 2, so have that right there.
Keep you.
Like actually, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, I'm saying, but now when you drop down, it's yeah, where's the I see. But like, it's now, it's easier when you go back. You guys have about a minute and a half to but either way. Yeah, and then you can choose outliers of the rest.
I'm getting there. Slow, I'm sorry.
You just add your objectives that you assist.
You don't need to write the whole standard, just your names. You crack that on your computers if you're done, so I know you're ready to go back. You gotta focus. So
When we do this, just do however many objectives are covering, or just, or do we have to do all five?
There's place for 5, and the first one, we have 5 groups and 1 for. My objectives are all fairly similar, right? They're all essentially the same, 3 different levels some kids so, I mean, just hold on. So like we're reminded of what we I think
It could get from
Alright, let's tied up. Even if you're not done, you can finish that in just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, the next step is you're gonna go into your tracker and you're gonna go through each kid and you're gonna tag them with the objective. So I've assigned Antonio, adding with your grouping. I'm gonna assign and it should come up in your dropdown. So go ahead and do that for objectives 1, 2, and 3, or however many objectives you assign. Give about 30 seconds to do that. It really shouldn't take that long, you just need to tag every kid with that.
Then you can be problem.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand, I can go straight in on the spreadsheet.
You can just yes. You can control, just copy it and paste it into the drop down for every kid.
Well, one thing about copying and pasting, can I, just because I want to make sure that we keep this tracker like working. Copy and paste with, you can copy and paste within a column. Do not copy from one column to the other. It will then may lose the link to the columns above. But then you copy and paste within a column all you want. Yes, you can copy the blue square across columns, yes. And down. Don't copy, don't
All right, I'm gonna give you the next step.
Yeah, it's like,
Can I write them? So we're trying to go through this relatively quickly, because we wanna give you the majority of the time on your way, and to actually use and apply this data. So, next you're gonna go, I took my quizzes out, and I took question number 1, which aligned to objective number 1, and the assessment I gave, and I put in Antonio's score. And for each kid, I put in the percentage score. You just need to put in the number, so if it's just 73, the percent comes out right next to it. So you're gonna do that for every objective you taught, for every kid you assess. This should probably be silent, because you're going through your quizzes, and it'll be much quicker. If you have questions about, Kelly and I are walking through.
Probably.
Brandon,
This is level red now, Mr. Charles.
okay, you guys under, are we going to look at the percentage? It's not easy.
Who's that?
And that's right.
Using that. So I really need to work.
Especially with the spreadsheet and stuff.
Show.
That's in the right.
You said that.
But we should be.
So I never put it, so they're in the NWEA. Oh, we don't have any, like, you did not have any.
How do I add another row to my, so I can figure my business?
In this class, is that some tracker? I would just copy the one above.
So just put in your running underscores.
You want me to copy?
I just scratched out. You can do whatever.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, she didn't take it, she took the diagonal.
Can you show me in your fingers from 1 to 2 how many more minutes you need to finish this?
1 to 2.
Or 0, lots of people are saying 0. Okay, I'm gonna give it about a minute. Yeah. Okay, can you grab your question?
What was Amy on for, or what was Amy in favor?
Now with the stuff, I need to know what I think it's maybe I'm sure I'll just tell them like. Your perception of like.
Alright, so now we're gonna try what's going on over here?
You're always on math. You're not.
Alright, we're gonna
Anyway.
guys. Okay, so now that we have all of our information in, I wanna think about, so then this is the now what. So the first thing we're gonna do is do some individual reflection, and then the second piece is where we have those partners. I know Blazer and Alan, and I know for myself, we did some of the grading of the assessments and put them in immediately right on the spot during Flex, which would be really great. So then when you come here, you can do your individual reflection, get right to your partner, and that's just more time with that thought partner. But today we're just kind of making sure we get the steps. So this sheet here, I want you to look at the physical one, and then you can do it, I don't care if you do it individually on physical or Google Classroom. This is in Google Classroom. I'm just gonna wanna see it either way, so whether you turn your copy this or turn in that, it just helps me see kind of the progress that we're making. So this is the first time we're using this reflection, and I think we realized it's a little, not as, we should make some changes on it. So if you want a crocodile, you can kind of see, I'll show you how I went through mine before you kind of dig into yours. So the confusing part was that it looked like 3 different objectives, and then who didn't master. I did, when I ended up actually using it today, for who didn't master, I didn't go by group. I just said, this is the one skill that I taught to all these kids, even though they're in different groups, and all of these kids were ones that didn't master. So I put my skill here, I named my kids, I looked at the questions, looked at the text, and said to myself, like, I haven't been doing a lot of choosing the best, so a lot of them fell for the distractor that I thought they would possibly fall for. They don't know the central idea, so then my skill of determining the role of a paragraph on a central idea, I need to spend more time on the central idea. If you don't know that, and you can't determine the role of a paragraph. So that was kind of a, why didn't they master it? That's the common thread I saw when I went back and looked. In the last column, it says, what can I do next to get students to mastery? I really want to think through this independently before I get to my partner, so I can tell my partner, these are ideas I have right now. I kind of want to hash this out, and so I come to the table with some ideas, and then I can hear what they have as well. So even just putting like, I need to plan multiple choice questions throughout my teaching more than just, I'm asking thoughtful questions that are on this, but I'm not asking them to do multiple choice. I'm not asking, I need to assess every day, but I'm not setting them up, and I'm not teaching them how to think through the distractors. No. So that's something I would like to incorporate. And more stops after independent reading, where we all stop at the exact same spot. So I usually stop them separately, and we need to all stop at the same spot, you know? So that was another, I really feel like we need to do that. And now that I'm gonna start having the students track their own data on this, and the fact that the assessment cycle is going to continue, I think that will help with buy-in. So like I know for sure there are 3 of these kids that didn't give the effort that I needed. So I don't really even know how valuable that data is, but I do know that that's a problem I need to just address myself, right? Like that's reality, what am I gonna do about it? I can just say, ugh, they didn't care. So the same with my point 1. I only had 1.1, and I had 3 of the 0.5. And so again, I put my kids' names, and I noticed that so why didn't they master? Every kid who got part A wrong, got part B wrong. So it's still going back to the original one. I did notice and make a note to myself that every kid who got part A right also got part B right, so I thought that was a win for me. I'm like, we are identifying the right evidence if we can answer the question about that. So you can type this or you can write this. But this you want to do in your own head, and then when we're done, if you want to flip it over, this is when I'm going to give you a partner who I want us to stick with our partners from week to week so we can continue to bounce those ideas off each other. But because your partner's not here today, I'm going to join me and Sarah Blazer. And
I already gave you a hard time last night.
I told them, I gave him a hard time, so I was like, you're gonna be God.
So on that part, I have only 2 outliers who are outperforming the rest. So I really want to think through with my thought partner. Okay, so my outliers, what can I do for them? Because they're getting something that the others aren't. Everyone else, what's my plan? And so we kind of just left that as like, don't forget these 2 spots, but left it open because it's going to be messy and that's what it's supposed to be. So then we're going to do Emily, Akila, and Latanya as a group of 3. And then Sarah's going to be a thought partner for all of us. And probably in the other room too. Questions on the reflection piece? Or is there like, ooh, I really wish there was a spot for this? Should we include notes, something about running records in here, or is this just choosing one main target?
I would the way I'm using it, okay. It's not 100% perfect, but skill of focus, which you didn't have this week, but you will. Who didn't master that? And for now, it would be who are you worrying about? Yeah, whose progress when you're listening to them, creating, taking anecdotal data, who are you worried about? Why do we think that is? And then what can we do next? So it's a little bit of both right now. They both have running record data, so that's what they can work on. And next week we'll have running record data and anecdotal data based on the skill.
My question is, at the end of these running records, there's also a piece of, not a piece, but a sheet of questions. Should we continue with that list of questions, or should we just narrow them down?
I'll answer that question. I don't want to go a little more tomorrow. Oh, but I don't want to stop you guys from that, but I get it.
But I just want to clarify that this is in Google Classroom, and the goal is that when we finish today at 3:25, that we can all say, this is an action that I'm taking next week that is different from what I've done, based on that. So we walk out of here feeling like this. Okay? So I guess you three can move, or we can move. No, we can't move, because I know we can't move. Oh, yeah, we'll be back. I can give you your own camera.
We're good.
You have really good posture for a long time.
Ribs are tall.
This one is not painted.
And I was thinking that question, so no, where is, I'm reading it right now. You know,
Yeah. But if it's a reflection that. The questions are right now. Okay. Valid, right, standard. But if you're finding, it might be, I do want to add a question that's related to the skill, so I have to bring it up. Okay. Does that make sense? If you're not here, but I don't want to. I'm gonna have to. It's a long term, right, one number, but then you're running out of the same, but.
As of right now, we'll just choose the students that we have questions on.
Under agenda.
I did talk about it and then I felt like it just felt yeah, so I'm not putting down individual things, I think that a lot of them were, for one of the questions, it was very, I think it needs to be addressed, is like, in misinterpretation, of the question, and it's really funny that they interpreted it this way. It was, like, what does hotly mean in the paragraph? And in the paragraph, it was less than being hotly contested. And so like, kids writing it, well, I often chose spicy, and I was like, it's not how people about choosing spicy, and they're like, oh, I like spicy, like, people would get like into it, and kids are spicy. Like, wow, so they're like, actually thinking about it the right way.
Restaurant, they have that, what was contested.
Yeah, they be interesting. It's
Also, right.
a passionate way. So like,
Yeah, that's that. Just the comprehension. First must be general public.
you know,
Like, if I go.
it's the same thing, you know? They need to recognize it. That's what it says. If we're gonna avoid people who don't eat spicy the same way, and
Well, and like they have no passion about the life. You know.
because a lot of them didn't know what a passionate meant, which surprised me. So I was like, that's a word that I feel like I would, at the very least, like, some context for, teacher, like, I have no idea how to think.
Interesting.
So if we want, do you want some more time? No, that's okay, I think I'm ready to talk about it.
Okay. So we have, we want to give each person. Will we just talk about your task, if you like ideas? I'm sure we'll do some ideas as we go. So, before we can get away, you're gonna have to give a little set the stage, like what you've noticed, you guys do on our trying to let us get details.
I have, so, because I have
And you're feeling that's on there, if you have you.
so I have, my this does like, kind of like, so we each have 2 objectives. Going forward, I'm only going to have 1 objective, because we were not able to like effectively address both of the objectives. Like, that's a big reason why their scores were so long. It's like, it just was an issue of, they really didn't take enough time to like practice and think about both of them. So that's been going forward, that I'm gonna do, there's just something to tell you about, was one of the questions, essentially came out to like a linguistic interpretation, in which kids kind of like applied a slang definition of a word and chose the answer based on that, and so like, I think including more just like test taking practice, just thinking about when you take a test, how do you know how to interpret things, so that being a part of the conversation more. I think this is something like I'm thinking about, is a really long test. And looking at, so one of the objectives was inferring, whenever they have to infer a speaker in a different text, and then another one was locating information within the passage. I think for both of those, because the text is so long, I think kids got a little overloaded with information, like maybe weren't able to piece apart the important details as much, or because there's a lot of diligence, like think about it and deeply because they can't so much. And then I think the biggest thing that to apply to next week for me is changing something about flex, so that right now not every student is getting that practice. I feel like we need to go along that they read independently and we like to discuss questions, but right now there's not the level of individual accountability. Yeah, we're to make sure that every student is actually practicing this objective. So,
And then they can see themselves.
yeah,
I try to look more times than they have all of those things. So I got 3 out of 4, right? My kids can't walk that fast. And they're going fast.
The funny stuff.
and so I think that's really, and I think that's actually why when they sometimes struggle, right now they like
Yes,
read and talk about it with all the empty times, like there's not.
How often you see them?
It's really not a way for them to assess themselves, like, am I actually learning something? They're kind of
You might be,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Figuring out a way to structure or make things in a way so that
He gives it pretty easy.
teaching our schools, you have to make sure that every student is getting the chance to practice.
So it's gonna have to be a little bit of, you're missing something, like you're right here, right? Maybe one of the less.
Another thing, and I don't know, well, it's just something that came in my head while you're thinking, or while you're talking, and you're okay, is the fact that they think that is such a long meeting is something we need to take note of and build in something with the right? Like that's something to think about what we're planning ELA and more time flex. Because if they thought 4 pages was like so much reading, what are we gonna do? Because they're not reading the end, either, or on the MBA, and all of this work being in isn't gonna happen, so if you're reading,
Yeah, and like the thing that I showed in learning blocks is like getting them, like, we understand, he is much. Like, right, this is actually 5 pages. He's missed this in 1 day, and he's crossed it, and. Like how.
Because if you don't have.
I think that's just really considered. Yeah.
Said
she's not really practicing place for that, but.
The results will probably be different.
Can you get back? Or you?
Yeah, I could
I mean, the same thing.
But I think they
I
have
have
that here. I think part of it is just we mostly get
for the next organization.
how much they really so part of it is that you're
Yeah, but it's not even, they could.
It's not a non-structural. But I think
What they're doing, she's not.
So just like kind of
Just try to clear.
kind of using their egos skills for it, like you can do it, it's not wrong, but you're like, yeah, and they, yeah, because they really love that, they like,
And also.
yeah.
And also.
And part of it's just like, yeah, it's just level of them, I try to like
Already.
do a lot of
Because.
weird,
Can
obscure
I help you
stories
with
that I
this?
know
Can I
about,
go
so we
a
did.
little more? Yeah, it's just like, what do you guys about what she.
Genres and things that they might not have never considered. Always put them on their list, like, oh, this is weird. Something like she would never normally. Most of our kids are very much knowing music playing. I know exactly what goes on. Or just a little different segmentation can do some weird dramatic maybe writing style. She might be more like young actors. So they're a little bit more diverse. I know the orange kid is being like just kind of like that relates to their lives. Like they want to do something like they're out things to be
You are.
their stories like
We're that session now.
part of
She's
what
already
that
got
was
this.
too is
And you
that.
know, the session, that's all.
And like, sometimes you're reading.
Look back at the question, like, we have to,
Yeah, well, I'm not that way.
no, you need to try
I'm
to.
not in things. Someone from I'm sure she's.
Okay, so did you? So, I also wanted to comment on one, really distracted. I know she gave her wishes 2 days for subjects over that. And, I mean, I'm going back to the same numbers, like, stop. I told her, stop. She would even be looking at me and guessing the word, like, the words on my face.
Yeah.
In the book, it wasn't like, just like, over and over, like, no, say, if you're looking at me, you're not using any strategy. Write it down. So it's just that prompt. And then I think as she's probably.
I think what'll
Higher
help
level
is having, my goal is to have at least one long, with 2, like one for each of us.
Like,
So that it's like what she write down, a multiple choice question, like what she's thinking.
answers are kind of something like that, and then I don't understand it.
Keep her busy and. Focus. Yeah, and like, I think I have. I think my questions are okay, I think they're presented into the kids, the way it's structured right now is they're presented in a way like, it doesn't feel that, serious. I was asked like, intensity that I think we need. Maybe like.
Because like when I ask a question, I always pause like, why am I asking this question? What are we trying to get to at the end? You're asking this question because we realize why dialogue is pushing our, okay, good, so okay, answer the question.
And that's not why it is.
Why am I asking this question? Okay, answer the question. So then in the end, and
usually around, okay, so, okay, so why am I ending here? So now we're just gonna stop.
I'm
Because we
noticing
don't just
that
go
my,
to the end of the
when
line,
my
because what is,
uppercase, my O's,
stop, like, how does.
all of them are long contacts. Like I had maybe one or two months, I don't know that I said,
Yeah, I don't ask.
all of them are like line and shit.
Because I always do.
You know, and it's not like
When I
that.
ask the question, I always wanna make sure that I tie back to what we're doing, because I know that a lot of kids, like Curtis and Carol, just like,
Not
it's
mine.
like that, and of course, like, they know that, okay,
Because
this is
did
written,
not know
you reach it, that's why I'm asking
it's
these
not
questions
what
over
you're
and
supposed
over.
Yeah.
you know, it's
Never
something that I just, I don't
And
know
that's
where
why
my.
I need to get, like,
you know,
I need to
we started,
it's like, also, I think for your question, they want to ask, it doesn't really relate to the objective.
that he was kind of.
This is still a really well, I think about, and I really, I think
What's
it's
the
hard,
look
like,
like?
I think
Yeah,
the
you
internet,
should.
I think the
You know,
internet,
you know,
well, I feel like
quick
she
hits,
I think.
But then like always knowing that those, like, they get married to, you should have 4 to 1, like always have.
Right.
Questions of your
Yeah,
parents about not like, this is where the,
I think it's a random word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, because I do that too, like, when you're.
She's not like, it's really quiet.
What's assassination? They're like, oh, it's a murder.
For her, I noticed that she would.
Okay, good, and you can decide whether
She's super quiet, I need to share a lot.
do I have to tell them?
Yeah, so it's interesting to say about how many objectives too many, because actually objectives, a part of it is a vocab. Like it's really important for my like classes that
written.
don't know how to
Real quick.
fully put
So I can actually check
with all the things that we're.
more than going on.
But we do have those like
There's
multiple at bats because they're worksheet.
Yeah.
Multiple at bats.
Writing.
So,
Did you have?
double meaning words, so just multiple text over and over.
Okay, what did you do?
Can you make a sentence with this
Oh,
word
no,
that
no,
to
no.
verbally compare them? And so they did half of this worksheet, the first.
If you can do it
5
verbally,
slash 1 day.
then you know it's not really bad.
And then each child themselves, like, quickly come up with some other words, and they really, a lot of them themselves, like, yeah. I know some words, I just have like, oh, I can't remember them right now. And then just going really quick to it, so next week is,
Like,
what
my
the
kids,
equivalent, or is it context, and I actually have a couple of
let's say,
questions that we
here.
can have fun with, and just those multiple
If
hits,
they
and
would
like get the
get
answers,
that,
that's why.
of course,
Feeling better, so I think for that,
It makes sense.
we're thinking
but yeah, when it comes to comprehension, I'm only focusing
she's
on
very
one.
sharp,
And I just realized that, yeah,
you know,
it's
she's
just
very good
black
as far as
back to
her,
it.
you know, as far as her skill set, you can start this,
Like, we're gonna stop, like,
higher than.
yeah, like, really famous, I'm like, I wanna stop here and ask this question, but I hear to get to the, my meat of my,
So, when I go to
I love, like,
it just
all
didn't
of that.
reflect.
So like, this time he's like,
It wasn't the same.
yeah, but it's not like, you hear someone, no,
I know what she's doing. Group. Where she's very sharp in answers, she can articulate herself.
How did your
well,
bag
she's-
sound? Like you.
You know,
So,
I mean, I got, you know,
the vocab was amazing, and those many
and
resources
I was
that
hoping
actually
that,
Right.
I hope is that.
part of it, one is Dave Lofton was just kind of
It's
gets
personal support.
consistently, so that's
But
actually
he
how.
didn't.
And he was really close to it. Deja and one word is that, and we talked about this a couple times last year with him, and me, like, a lot of just in the Pittsburgh way stressed out. And it's really
irritated when they read it.
we kind of do your best to figure this out,
So.
because when we're talking about that, she has such great insights. That
So-
it's assessment she does.
That probably makes sense.
So maybe that would be
And I'll probably do it. So.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, so that's fine for she, because
When you're.
when we went over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went over it, she's like, oh yeah, I really did
Yeah,
want to
she
answer
did,
it,
yes.
but I just actually guessed myself.
But she feels above, you know, you know, if she, you know.
But yeah, so
she kind
I
of
was telling.
give me the answer that I'm looking for, plus add on
I have
top.
actually, so actually
And
did
she's
that, and that clarified a lot of.
So it's
absolutely,
Like,
always like,
questions like the kids, and I think what was really.
I don't know. You know, that's kind of where I'm stuck at, and then,
Other kids share
also,
thinking, and they were like, oh, that makes
and then I'm
sense,
like,
and then
because it was just.
I knew exactly which kids to like call on to share one because I think Curtis has problems with like intonation when we speak dialogue. Is that how is he really saying that? Is he saying it? Was he happy, angrily, and
And so I don't know.
Oh,
Really good for that.
he's, you know, probably sweating because he's
That's what I.
he's being nervous, like, you should be nervous, because I don't know that nervous about the way I'm saying it, so that's
Really,
something that we do.
you know, really saying, you know, really.
So my problem right now is
all that she can do is
it's about like what I do
texting
others,
others, but
don't
it's just
have
like one of those things where.
one so far, all of them,
Your group groups.
yeah,
If you
one of them
actually
actually all of them, the other two have.
You know, she has, you know, especially when it comes to things in her life.
One might be very arrogant, yeah,
And I don't know if that arrogance is kind of keeping her from doing what she can on others, or,
feeling their gaps.
you know, maybe slowing down what, you know, slowing down her thought process, maybe she's another.
But as you were saying, what I found really helpful when I first did it, we did go through that test strategy, because like, I was putting all those chapters in there and then just going along with, okay, D is good because the first half is right, but what happened in the second half? They're like, oh, it's not 100% correct, we can't find anything in the text to support. So then out of C or D, which was like C, because we can support every part of that answer with text.
She has to do
I'm
more
not
than
thinking about having like animal that. He's next to me, like, we're going, this part is going on.
That's what Leo was saying in our programming meeting, so then I can just have more of a radiation research on it, like, have it explain why you choose the answer up. So you can think of it, if I want to know, okay, you explain your thinking now, so more of the understanding. That's all, I thought that was
It's
it.
a hard pretty lesson to have it in one case.
Yeah, even if it's a questions
After
asked,
on the first day,
further.
we kind of revisit the
Oh,
text that
wow,
we
that
did
was
before,
the
and I didn't see time to kind of.
You could- one thing I have done
question on
is
that.
that make them
So
go back
back
and
and
be like,
like,
like, this is the piece, and
next
why
day,
I
go
can't
to the side, I asked a couple
can't
questions.
say, it's not gonna work for your evidence, it's a lot of stuff in here to ask, what is,
So each
what's the
day
thing
alternate,
that
so
made you choose?
first day they're revisiting the text and doing work. And next day they're doing the text.
really trying to push that away.
They have that, you know, so they have that independent work time.
With high action to find that out, so you'll feel more confident because you're taking the test, like, it's good for you. Oh, no, mine would get sticky. Yeah. What happens when
I think it's a really thing to
Mine was the same
Yeah, it's
way, where I was like, crap.
what you said.
You know, he was so.
Because I think part of it now is
So,
more GLA is
some good, I think.
automatically,
I
I notice like
it's
kids
just,
just
you
go
know, I think
see
it's.
the answer like,
Shirley
just said it because, and they just like, and they go directly back to the task, but that's the whole core of like, where's your answer? Go back and then go to say that over and over, and then celebrate it when somebody like got the highest.
So, but.
They're getting more confident, like, you know what, my interpretation might be a little bit off, but at least I have text evidence that supports what I'm trying to say. And then others tell me.
It's Thursday 4. I think just to sum up what we've all kind of gotten the takeaways from this, is that we need more facts and it's like. So I have, scholars that focus on one skill, vocabulary. He is really part of how, and just in our brain, we're thinking about, so I did running, and just, so I did running, finish reading A answer to, thinking about that. Right, like where am I still better, where am I going to, and when I challenge him, I'm like,
And just try that, you can use any strategies I've ever taught.
something that,
Yeah.
when they evidence.
Oh, okay, this is serious now.
He'll try, and it already was better, but it's already so much better, like, when evidence and.
Well,
Like, when they did it.
right, so great.
Yeah.
I mean, just because this is for me, being in knowledge,
Yeah.
and
Answer.
when, you know, and especially when I'm in knowledge
Them to like.
by myself.
Yeah.
Is it the right evidence for
the reading time?
your
And
answer?
so,
Then, right.
and of course, the whole thing is,
Pick the right
because
evidence.
I don't know that they're reading wrong,
wrong.
I have to try to look things they can read.
Your
Like,
understanding's.
okay, read Joshua,
Yeah.
read to me, so if he's not doing one of those things,
Part of the,
he's not reading.
oh, I know,
Or
part
he's,
of the things
he'll
that
fix
I don't
something.
cover is because with their eyes.
Completely simple and not read it at all, so he did. I think
First, there's a lot of people that don't have a reason, and they tell you, but you write
Anytime
down.
we're not.
That was
reading,
right,
almost
down the
like,
reason I
"Oh,
can
you
do
just
it.
go, I don't know."
Yeah.
Books about animals. Yeah, you
And
realize.
I usually have
you're
them
gonna
like,
get-
there.
You're not gonna get all kinds of
Just
shit
about
on
me.
you. You have to read
And I think it's just that second,
Right,
so-
it's like just that second grade, and pushing them like, what did you tell? Say it loud.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice,
Like,
like,
he
again.
did 3 books in a row about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know.
Okay, so then let's
That's
find.
fine, I'm glad on those days he's excited and he's more into it. But like the running record passage, I did was about,
Again.
flash mobs.
Oh,
That
yeah.
random,
Yeah.
like whatever, and he's just like, he's always said, he's like, I'm happy. Keep your hands about an animal. And just kind of, you know, run through it and, you know, take it serious. Yeah, I mean, he's
coming up with more
Yeah, so it's just inconsistent. Some days he'll be really on, motivated, excited, you're missing all the it's just like.
But the-
I have a text because I'm there.
Oh, yeah, so everyone's know if what I might try to do, probably the one I have to do.
I don't know.
Do have, maybe just do that every week.
You know, just like, and I think if, I mean, I think that's kind of one of those things where if that light switch were to come on.
Yeah, and I can,
He could fly.
Yeah.
You know, he could really.
If it works out, maybe
Broken,
we
really,
can
like, and I think.
Yeah, to see, like, how many
They probably
people
take
can
excited about, when he and I'm really excited about, Bernie, and, you know, things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
keep our response.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good.
And I do want your animal kid on the day that they're there.
But I think that would be a good use to tell them, it's like, you're gonna write that's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Math or something. One of the longer records.
You're in one little video.